Hello, so I've decided to start a YouTube channel thanks to my buddy Tyne. He's been doing a channel on spirituality. My particular channel is going to be on gardening and the techniques of gardening and the way that we do it. There's definitely not one way to garden. This is just the way that we garden. And hopefully my intention is to be able to maybe teach somebody that may not know about gardening, or an experienced gardener might learn a trick or two. I know I've learned a lot of tricks off several other gardeners since I've been doing it. So today's November 2nd, 2011. It's fall here in Maine, in the state that I'm in. And basically, we're going to do some garlic today. That's when you plant garlic, is in the fall in the Northeast. And we'll get into that. First of all, I wanted to show you the area that the entire garden for next summer will be, and that we're fortunate enough to have this piece of land here to do this. It's actually not a big lawn, but so most of it is gardening that you'll see, or filled up with a garden. Very important, in my opinion, that the reason why we do this gardening is not only because we love gardening, it's also because we feel as though this is the wave of the future, being self-sustaining. We oftentimes have the neighborhood children come over and they'll help us plant. I consider that teaching our future, their future. And a lot of people will come over to see how the garden's doing throughout the summer, which you'll see next year as it grows. Again, today we're only doing garlic. So without further ado, I'll take you around the gardening site. This is one part of the garden here. Thank you, Tyne. That will be some sort of a flower bed. The daylilies are still there. They come up, as you, I'm sure, know, beautiful orange flowers of sorts. I'm not the big flower guy. My girlfriend Kayla is the one that's into flowers and herbs. I'm more into vegetables, just so you know. And I'm sure eventually you'll meet Kayla as well. This is where our old fire pit used to be. So this is one section. Now down here, there's the road, as you can see. You'll get an idea of how small this piece of property actually is. Over here is one of the main gardens, and we still have a lot of the vegetables. I call them fruits. When a plant grows a fruit, that's just my own terminology. It doesn't mean literally a fruit, but so this is where we grew all of our fruits, or a lot of them this year. And as you can see, a lot of them are still there wilting away because of the frost. We're going to harvest all that this year. Or today, I should say. All of it will be gone as of today. There's Kayla. And all of this is coming up. Kayla's doing that now, which is a good part of... hi, Kayla.
Hi.
This is a good sort of intro into the whole experience. Yeah, and just pull it away. So we're pulling it, and then we're going to put it onto this tarp, and then we're going to haul it to the compost, which I'll show you in a second. Okay, so there was that garden. Here's another main garden, and this again will be all filled with fruit next summer. We still have a lot of things to harvest. All of our tomato stakes are going to go underneath the porch, possibly reused next summer. I've got a couple of ideas for tomatoes in terms of growing them and what's most simple. This year what we did is we had stakes driven about every 3 to 4 feet, and then in between the stakes would put levels of string for the actual plant to crawl up. And that's how we harvested our tomatoes, and that's how we grew them this year. But next year it could be different. I've got a couple of other ideas that I'm learning from other farmers and how to grow tomatoes, because the problem that I found with growing it this way was that the strings would often loosen up, and then the tomato would flop over the tomato plant. So I'm thinking I want to try to go with a stronger sort of string, but keep it as organic as possible. Our garden we consider organic. We use no pesticides. We use no growth hormones whatsoever. The only thing that's non-organic in our garden possibly could be the manure, because we, based on wherever we get the manure in the spring, we don't know what the cows have been eating all the time. So that could make it non-organic. Obviously this metal wiring in our garden is non-organic, but I hope by now you can get the point that we are organic without actually being organically certified, I guess you could say. Okay, so there's still part of the main garden. Up here is our compost bins, and these are simply just pallets, wooden pallets. We happen to find these two in the woods already nailed together, but as you can see, if you had 5 woolen pallets, you can simply make a box. And then I put chicken wire around the box, stapled it around it so that the neighborhood dogs and cats would stay out of the compost because they love it. So that's a tip if you feel like you want to have or take it or use it, is chicken wire around the compost. 5 pallets will make you a nice compost bin. Okay, moving over here, we have chickens too. Not sure if I'll do a chicken segment, but just so you know, right now they're not laying. We have not had any eggs in the past 7 days, and what I've learned, this is my first year with chickens, is that apparently if they don't have enough light, the shortening of the day, and also the temperature difference will make them not lay eggs. So what we've done is we put a heat lamp into their coop for the temperature as well as light, and we're going to take it from there. I only did that the other day, so. Okay, over here was the herb garden. This is where we had several different herbs, and again, as I said earlier, Kayla isn't into the herb. She is the herb and flower woman, and I believe it would be safe to say that's her passion. She definitely loves vegetables too, but she has a great passion for herbs as well. So this will possibly all be herbs again. I'm not sure of the exact layout of how we're going to do things. So this is what we have again over there. And then I walked across here. This is our main garden that we're pulling right now. More main garden, compost bins, and then herb garden. And later on when I come back, what we will be doing is actually planting our garlic. Thank you very much for joining us on our first garden channel video, and we hope that you become a subscriber and follow us through our garden for 2011/2012. Bye for now.